Hey, what's up guys? Justin here with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and showing you how to install the RTR Upper Grille with the LED air intakes fitting all 24 and newer Mustangs. Now the RTR grille is a fantastic balance of function and form, offering increased cooling for the radiator along with plenty of airflow for the twin airbox inlets, while really making the front end pop thanks to the integrated LED accents. So this is going to be a great option for the S650 owners out there who are big fans of that iconic RTR styling, complete with the signature grille lights, but would also like to add some functionality at the same time. Now, as I mentioned at the very top of this video, guys, the RTR grille is designed in a way to direct more airflow to the radiator for increased cooling. Now, speaking of air, the highlight for me is definitely the twin air inlet design, delivering fresh, cool air directly to the twin air boxes in the S650 GT. S650 EcoBoost cars do receive a block-off plate here. Every grille comes with a block-off plate, but if the EcoBoost owner wants to use it, you can certainly throw that in. Now, those inlets do get highlighted by the iconic RTR grille lights. Now, unlike previous generations, the S650 RTR lights do feature more of a three-dimensional look, thanks to the 3 individual rings that progressively get smaller the deeper you go into the grille. And that really does deliver that 3D look when they're fired up. Now, the grille lights are also going to feature built-in switchback technology that allows those lights to switch from white to amber whenever your turn signals are activated. Now, moving into construction, and the team at RTR tells us that the grille has been designed and built using OEM Ford CAD data to ensure a perfect fit on the front of your S650 Mustang at home. Now, the grille has been made from a durable injection molded plastic and is finished off in a satin black paint job for increased durability over the years. Now, those LED lenses are UV hard coated to prevent any fading or yellowing, while the LEDs themselves do feature a very simple plug and play install, which just basically eliminates the need for any complicated wiring. Now, RTR does kick in, again, that passenger side block-off plate here for the EcoBoost cars if you'd like to use it, but they do not include any RTR badge for the grille, so just keep that in mind. Price point for the grille will land in that mid to high $600 range, making this one of the pricier aftermarket grille options on the site currently for your S650 at home. But I will say it is by far and away one of the most unique offerings here at American Muscle. Now, your installation, according to the site, will get a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you a couple of hours to complete from start to finish. But now, to give you a better idea of how this one might go down on your GT or EcoBoost at home, let's throw it out to the shop for a detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need a 3/8 ratchet, a couple 3/8 extensions, 10mm swivel, 8 and 7mm socket, a clip removal tool, trim panel removal tool, needle nose pliers, diagonal cutters, and the supplied zip ties. All right, today we're gonna be installing an upper grille on our Mustang, so let's get started. All right, so in order to get our bumper off, we're gonna start under the hood here. We have 8 plastic push clips going across the top cover here that we're gonna remove with our clip removal tool. So we'll pop all those out first. All right, once we have all of those out, we'll pull our cover straight up. All right, now we have our cover out of the way. We just got to pull up our weather stripping here. So there's 2 clips. Use our clip removal tool. Just pop them up. Do that on either side. We're going to switch to our ratchet and 7mm socket and take all of these 7mm screws going across out. All right, now we're going to be in our fender well behind our headlight. You'll see 2 10mm bolts right here and here. They're going to be hard to see. We're gonna grab our ratchet. We have a couple extensions and a 10mm swivel socket. Just to get down there and get these out. So it's down in there and pull them out. And go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we're all the way underneath the car. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the back bolts and clips out of our splash pan down here. So we have 3 clips across the bottom. We're gonna use our clip removal tool and pop those out. Now that we have those out, we're going to grab our ratchet extension and 7mm socket. We're going to take out all the bolts going across the back side, except the ones on the very outside attached to our lip, then also the 2 in the middle. So now we're going to come to our wheel well. We're going to take out 4 push clips on our wheel liner here using our clip removal tool. All right, now that we have those out, we can pull this back. And right here we have our connector for our marker light. So I'll pull that off. It's just a simple push the tab down and then pull it off. Now you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll show you how to remove one more connector on the other side. As you can see on the other side, we already did the same thing. Now we just need to get our main bumper connector right here. Same thing, push down the tab and pull and get that disconnected. Now we can pull our bumper off. Now on the other side where we took out, there's 2 10mm bolts. There is a plastic push clip in between there. We're gonna grab one of our plastic clip removal tools and just pop that free. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we're gonna come to the top. Just lift up the top here over our tabs and pull the whole bumper cover off. All right, now we have our bumper and we're on the back side. We are gonna take out our reinforcement cord right here. It's just held in by a couple plastic tabs here. You can just push them over to the side if you need to. Use your trim panel tool. Work that all the way across. And set this aside. All right, so on the other side, we will see our light with our bracket and then our wiring harness that's attached to our upper grille. So we're gonna take our 7mm socket and ratchet and take these 2 bolts out first. Then we're going to grab our clip removal tool and just pop our clips off of where they attach to our grille. All right, you just fold that up over the side. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So on the other side, you'll see 3 of these plastic tabs. Now they're easy to remove. So push down on the back side, push them through. You'll see a little push down tab there. Do that for all of them. You need to use trim panel removal tool, just give it a little assistance. Go ahead and do the same thing for the other 3 on the other side. All right, now we just need to pull our grill out. You'll see it's held in by plastic tabs going all the way around. Same thing, we're just gonna grab our plastic trim tool and just push this to the side and work our way around. All right, we can pull our grill out and set that aside. All right, now we're gonna get our new grill into place. So we're gonna line up all of our tabs and set our grill over. You start at one end and work your way along, just locking it in place. So now we have our grill in place, we're going to install our white clips. It's 3 on either side. Like so. And you go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now we just have a little bit of wiring to hook up. So we see we have our fuse tap and ground wire that will come off, and then we have our first connection for our lights. Now the ground and fuse tap will go to our passenger side of the vehicle, so we'll leave that over here. Then we have our longer wire, which will run over to our driver's side. So we're just going to unplug our factory light. We're no longer going to use that. All right, so we're just going to re-secure our factory harness here, just like so. We're going to take our factory harness connector and plug it into the one coming off of our light. And then the wire that we just ran, we're going to plug that in here. We have a tab to secure that down here. And we're going to secure our wire running across. All right, we're just going to take a couple of our supplied zip ties. We're just going to secure our harness to our factory one that runs along the bumper. Now you can secure this however you want. You just want to make sure it just stays out of the way. Bundle up our extra here. Just zip tie that up. Take a pair of diagonal cutters, just cut off the extra. All right, we're just going to connect our wires on our passenger side. Same thing, disconnect our light. We're not going to be using that. Secure our harness down. Plug that in, secure it down. And our other connection. Just let that set off to the side, and we can get our reinforcement back in. Now we're just going to put our reinforcement back in. Now you might need to reroute your wiring just to make sure it's not going to interfere with anything. And once you get that all in place, just secure it back down on our locking tabs. All right, now before we put our bumper back on, we just need to route our wiring. Now you can route this however you want. You just want to make sure you have a nice straight shot to our fuse box here. So we're just going to go up on the side of the intake here. We can just pull that up on the side of our headlight and just pull the extra up for now. If we need to, we can reroute it under this frame rail here. But now we can get our bumper back in place. Line our bumper back up. Our tabs up top, and then line up around our headlight and back into our fender. Just make sure you push that clip back up. You can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side with the other fender. Now before we mess with any of the wiring in the fuse box, we're just going to disconnect our battery just so we don't run into any issues. We're just going to spin this tab here and lift this clip up. That'll give us access to the negative terminal right here. We're going to grab our ratchet and 10mm socket. Just take that nut off. When you need to take it off, just loosen it up. You can pop that terminal off. Just let that rest down there like that. All right, so we're going to take our lid off for our fuse box. We have a tab here, a tab here, and then lift up on the sides right here. You'll see where all the releases are. They are labeled. Set that right there. We have this 10 amp fuse here. It's about 23. We're going to take a pair of needle nose pliers and pull that out. We're going to take our fuse tap and plug that in place. Now what you would need to do here is modify your fuse box a little bit. So you're going to take a pair of diagonal cutters. You're just going to cut a slot right here, here, and here, and here, just so that the wire can gain access and won't get pinched when you put the lid on. We're not going to do that to ours. We're just gonna temporarily put this on. So we're gonna leave our lid off, but you wanna make sure that you notch that out so that you can put your lid back on properly. So then we have our ground stud here. So we're gonna grab our ratchet and 8mm socket, take that stud out. So I put our ground wire through, thread that back in, and tighten that back down. Then we can reconnect our battery and put our terminal back on. Grab our 10mm socket and tighten that back down. Get our cover back in place. And put our clip back in. Secure that down. Now that we have our wiring all hooked up, you just want to make sure that you function test and make sure everything is working properly before you get everything else secured. Once you have that done, we can continue securing. We're gonna start with our bolts in our fender well. So we're gonna get our two 10mm bolts back in place. You're not gonna be able to see anything in here, but just reinstalling what you took out. We'll grab our ratchet with a couple extensions and our 10mm swivel socket. Tighten that down. And go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we're gonna come across to the front and reinstall all of our 7mm bolts going across. So we have a ratchet, extension, and 7mm socket, and tighten those down. Either side, just want to make sure you secure your weather stripping back down, the two tabs. Then we can get our cover in place. Now we're going to get our cover back in place, line up all of our holes and reinstall all of our push clips going across. All right, so now we're on our driver's side. We're gonna come back and plug our main harness connector in. Get that lined up. Push together till it clicks. All right, then we'll plug our marker light back in. Get our wheel liner back in place and reinstall our 4 push clips going across. Now you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, just minus that main harness clip. You'll just have this side marker clip. All right, so we're gonna go back underneath and secure our belly pan. Now we're gonna start with our 3 push clips first. Got one in the middle, one on either side. We'll go to our ratchet, extension, and 7mm socket and put in all of our bolts going across the back side. And that wraps up our install of our RTR Upper Grille with LED air intakes for our 2024 newer Mustang GT and EcoBoost. And remember, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.